Hello, my name is Dan Hoy, and I'm a NASA Solar System Ambassador volunteer and a Space Edge Academy contributor. In this three-part series, we've learned about three interesting aspects of our solar system: craters, the asteroid belt, and meteorites. In this third and final part of the series, we'll learn about the three major types of asteroids and meteoroids that we've learned about by studying meteorites that fall to Earth. Let's check it out.
I'm lucky enough that I have a small meteorite collection, and so I'm happy to share with you today three of these that represent the three most common types of meteorites that we find. The first is called the Stoney Meteorite, and that's this one right here. So this is an actual meteorite that landed in the Sahara Desert of Africa, and it's the most common type that we find on Earth. As you can see, it looks much like an ordinary stone that we might find on Earth, and in fact, it's quite similar. However, scientists can use sophisticated chemical and other tests to show and prove that this rock did not come from Earth and came from somewhere else, the asteroid belt. There are simpler tests to help people get started to know whether they have a meteorite or not, and one of them is to test whether or not the rock is magnetic. So some Earth rocks are magnetic too, but nearly every Stoney meteorite has enough iron and nickel in it to be magnetic. So you can see, if I put this small magnet on, it sticks because it is magnetic. The next one we're going to talk about is the iron meteorite, and it's the second most common type of meteorite. And that's this one right here. And you can see that, of course, it looks quite metallic. It's shiny, feels like metal, it's very dense. And you can even see where it kind of melted a little bit, either when it entered the atmosphere or when it exploded upon landing on Earth. And one of the things that's typical of these iron meteorites is that it is super magnetic because it has such a high content of metal. And in fact, it's so magnetic that it's kind of difficult even to get the magnet off. So scientists think that the iron meteorites may have been the cores of early planet-forming bodies in the asteroid belt before they were somehow cracked apart into rocky and iron parts. Then, the third type of meteorite that I'll show you here is the rarest, and maybe the most interesting type of meteorite, and it's called a stony iron meteorite. It's easy to see why it's called this, as this sliced sample shows both the rocky parts and the metal parts that are inside it. And scientists, in fact, think that these are a mashup of the two major types of meteorite, the stony and the iron. So either a stony asteroid and an iron asteroid collided and then melted together, that's one possibility. Or maybe a planet was starting to form with an iron core and a rocky outside, and somewhere along the line it got hit, and some of the pieces that broke off were at this border in between the metal and the rocky part. The final part that I'll share about this is because it's an asteroid and has metal and stony components, it also is very, very magnetic. So those are the three major meteorite types, described by the kinds of materials that they contain. There are other ways to classify meteorites too, and there are even categories within each of these three main types. But now you know more about our neighbors in the asteroid belt, the three main types. And maybe you'll be lucky enough to see a meteorite someday. In the meantime, I've been happy to share with you some of my meteorite collection and show you the three major types.